I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, no.
Oh, my... Bro.
You stay here.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to Third Street Reactions. I'm Tom.
I'm Malachi.
Shane.
We are back with the late night edition of Game of Thrones, Season 5, Episode 6. We're working the midnight shift, baby, and we're doing it for you. We're just that dedicated to
We
this
are.
show.
Tom, you got your coffee. We just
got
made.
my coffee. It's late. I actually just
coffeeed
got
out.
in.
I got the water here.
It's probably about 9 o'clock our time, right? I just got in, and we're gonna film a little bit tonight.
Yeah, but don't worry, we'll be energetic because we got some pretty crazy stuff coming up. The big thing for me last episode, for me personally, would definitely Jorah has grayscale. They're going through old Valeria, and Malachi, remember what they confronted?
The Doom of the... What's it called? Doom of the Valley.
We had all those ugly,
Stone Men.
hideous,
Oh, the Stonemen.
pulling them into the water, and
Yeah.
just terrible.
Yeah, I hate those guys. I hate them so much. But I think they mentioned the Doom of Valeria, which is I think it was essentially a volcanic eruption
Fantastic.
a few thousand years ago. That whole region got destroyed, and most of the whole world's dragons died.
Extinct. Yeah, they went extinct.
It kind of gave me a very we've had some pretty
Ancient
colossal.
Rome. Yeah. It gives you like an ancient Rome, like Pompeii, except it wasn't Pompeii. Pompeii was kind of a meaningless city-state. It was like the Roman Empire itself almost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we know now Barristan's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so rest in peace, eh?
Yeah. You hang out with some Canadians lately, I know a bunch of Canadians and they're always doing that shit. I'm like, what'd you say?
Yeah, and we actually have a bunch of really loyal Canadian fans. So, by the way, thank you guys for watching from our friends up in the north border there. I love bacon.
I love maple syrup.
You can go to Vermont, though, for that.
Yeah, you're right, I can.
Loras has been arrested by the Harpies, whom we all hate.
I can't tell you how much I hate him. And Lancel, the cousin, Cersei's cousin, is like kind of not jacked, but he looks a lot different now. He's square-jawed, got a little pentagram in his forehead, except it's not a pentagram.
Did he have longer hair before?
Yeah, he had like
shaved?
long ass hair.
Okay.
He was skinny. He was running around naked with Cersei.
Yeah, and he
Robert Baratheon yelled at him, told him to get the breastplate stretcher.
yeah, and he has it's like buzzed hair and yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that man.
So are we just resorted to the fact that these are just these like super religious fanatics?
They are, and they've grown to be huge numbers, and obviously they felt confident enough to arrest the brother of the queen.
Well, not only that, but they actually blocked Tommen
Yeah.
from going, and he had
Yeah, he's still a kid. And
he had his guard and everything with him. They're like, "Hey man, give the word."
We'll kill every single one of
And
these.
he's like, "Ah, no, you know." And I was like, "Man, that's
kind of a weak move, and obviously he's not gonna get any tonight. But and who engineered this whole thing though? Okay.
Seriously.
Cersei, she's just trying to claw into power and just trying to like
Screw things over.
Yeah, screw things up. And also in Winterfell, Malachi, you remember what happened?
Yeah. Ramsay and Sansa are getting married. And,
Yeah.
And Sansa saw
Theon.
which is...
Yeah, and he made them have like an awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Because remember, Roose Bolton was like,
he was like, "What
yeah,
are you guys doing?"
you disgraced yourself last night.
So, and for those who don't know, a lot of times, especially with the length of time that goes between us filming these, we'll go back and do recaps and just kind of refresh our memory on some of because all the different shows and stuff we're doing on the channel. But as I was looking through, I came across this really interesting article where someone made a quote about this show, and this thing with Ramsay and Sansa and everything, it's not about who is strong or weak or whatever. It's just, this show is literally just all about survival. Who can survive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we've seen some strong men die.
yeah,
We've some shitty, cowardly men live a lot longer than you think they would live. Yeah, I mean,
I know there's a couple names specifically that you're thinking that you want to say out loud.
I'm just not gonna say. Well, I'm trying not to spoil because of things that happen later too. So
Fair.
there is that. Anyways, guys, before we jump in, if you want to support us, check us out on Patreon to see the next 4 weeks early before it drops on YouTube. And we also have full-length uncut reactions for all the shows that we do as well. Let's jump in. House of Black and White.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Ari's an interesting cat.
So we got the dead here. We're washing them.
Still have a theory about this.
Oh yeah, what do you think it is?
Uh-oh.
Get back to work.
I've been here for weeks. I'm not scrubbing one more corpse until you tell me what I'm doing.
You will know why.
When?
When it's time, not before.
When do I get to play the game?
Game.
The game of faces?
You tried already. You failed.
I didn't even know I was playing.
Who are you?
No one.
Get back to work.
What are you doing here? How did you get here?
I'm from Westeros, just like you. Daughter of a lord, just like you. Except I was an only child. My mother died. My father remarried, and his new wife gave birth to a girl. So she tried to kill me with poison. I found out. Sought help from the faceless men. I've been serving them ever since. Was that true or a lie?
What?
Did you believe every word I said? Get back to work.
A lot of dead people.
Yep.
I don't want to know what they're doing.
What?
I don't want to know what they're doing. Don't want to find out.
Just skip that episode.
No.
Who are you?
Jacques Hugo.
That looks comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
And where did you come from?
Westeros. My family home is Winterfell. I'm the youngest daughter of a great lord. He died in battle.
A lie.
After he was executed, I fled the capital. Had to kill a sable boy. Drove my sword through his back.
A lie.
How does he know?
He knows.
I stabbed him in the gut. An outlaw kidnapped me. A man called Polliver. Sandor Clegane. He tried to sell me but was wounded in a fight. He begged me to kill him, but I wouldn't. I wanted him to suffer. I hated him. I hated him. That's not a lie.
A girl lies. To me, to the many-faced god, to herself. Does she truly want to be no one?
Yes. I'm not playing this stupid game anymore.
We never stop playing.
I get carried away. Like Malcolm, if you said to me, I'd just go to start beating you more.
Jack and
So-
Hagar's not playing around.
No, she hated the hound. It was a lie.
We can't live on berries and roots.
I can.
You're not hungry.
Of course I'm hungry.
You're an awful traveling companion. Do you know that? Possibly the least charming man I've ever met.
I'm not your traveling companion.
We are traveling together. Therefore,
Shut up.
You never wondered why Tyrion Lannister decided to visit a brothel in Volantis?
I'm sure you visited many brothels in many cities.
I killed my father. He wanted to execute me for a crime I didn't commit. And he was fucking the woman I loved.
What?
Fair. It's not wrong.
Miserable as you are, Mormont, at least your father was a good man.
What do you know about my father?
I visited the wall. When I asked him about his men, he knew all the stories, every one of them. He actually cared about the people under his command. How do they put it in the Watch? We shall never see his like again.
Uh-oh.
You didn't know. I'm sorry. I am.
How?
She didn't get to see him before he died.
I only know what I heard.
How?
He was leading an expedition beyond the wall. There was a mutiny. He was murdered by his own men.
Yep.
We better keep moving.
Way to go, Tyrion.
Honestly, that kind of bonds you when you're the bearer of bad news. I mean, he gave it the best he could, you know?
That'd be such a crappy job of scrubbing the floor on your hands and knees like Cinderella.
They did that in Vietnam all the time with little toothbrushes.
I have nowhere else to go. I've taken her to every healer in Bravos. I've spent every penny I had. She suffers every day of her life. I just want it to end.
That would be, I don't know.
I know. Don't be afraid. I used to be like you. I was sick. I was dying. But my father never gave up on me. He loved me more than anything in the world, just like your father loves you. My father prayed to the many-faced God, and I drank the water from his fountain. It healed me. I've devoted my life to him now. You don't want to hurt anymore. Drink.
Um,
I just, so fucking sad.
it's like Taking the chip, put it in your mouth.
Is that much sadder? You left the door open.
Yep.
I don't. I don't like it.
Here we go, Malachi.
I don't like it. You gotta start.
Maybe we'll get answers sooner than we expected.
Mentally preparing now. Many faces. Is that a different face?
Man, dude, I told you. It was gonna be like some Mission Impossible mask type stuff.
Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Well,
like some medieval version of...
I don't see any Pacific Island people, I'll tell you that.
Your mission should you choose to accept it.
Is the girl ready?
Nope.
To give up her ears, her nose, her tongue. Her hopes and dreams, her loves and hates, all that makes a girl who she is, forever. No. A girl is not ready to become no one.
Don't open your eyes, please.
But she's ready to become someone else.
Why is she worth all this? As I recall, the Mormonts fought against the Targaryens during Robert's Rebellion.
You believe in anything?
I believe in lots of things.
Something greater than ourselves, I mean. The gods. You believe there's a plan for this world?
No.
Neither did I. Then I saw a girl step into a great fire with 3 stone eggs. When the fire burned out, I thought I'd find her blackened bones. Instead, I saw her, Daenerys.
Yeah.
Alive and unhurt, holding her baby dragons.
Doesn't mean she's going to be a great queen.
No, it doesn't.
The Targaryens are famously insane. What if she conquers the world? Then what? 1,000 years of peace and prosperity?
First, we have to conquer the world.
All right, let's assume your dreams come true. She's ecstatic when you bring her this enemy dwarf. So a woman who has not spent a single day of her adult life in Westeros becomes the ruler of Westeros? That's justice?
She's the rightful heir.
Why? Because her father, who burned living men for amusement, was the king?
They probably came ashore.
Water.
Son of a bitch.
I hate slave people. Like, what do they get out of it? Nothing.
Is it Walter?
Hell, suffering.
They get... It's all about profit, man.
Got a lot of fight in you, huh?
Pretty sure he's in
Why do you punch like that?
Prison break.
He looks strong enough.
What about the dwarf?
Worthless. Cut his throat.
Wait! Let's discuss this!
And then chop off his cock. The dwarf's cock has magic powers.
Wait! You can't just hand a dried cock to a merchant and expect him to pay for it! He has to know it came from a dwarf, and how could he know?
It will be a dwarf-sized cock.
Guess again.
The dwarf lives until we find a cock merchant.
Jesus.
Queen Daenerys has outlawed slavery.
We're bound for Volantis, not Slaver's Bay.
You are looking at one of the great warriors in the Seven Kingdoms.
Him.
He's got to be 60 years old.
But he is a veteran of 100 battles. They wrote songs about him.
That true?
He won the tournament at Lannisport, unseating Sir Jaime Lannister himself.
The men who fight in the pits of Marine will swallow him whole.
I killed a Dothraki blood rider in single combat.
Oh, yeah, I remember that was Dothraki Blood Rider. That's an awesome name.
Yeah.
That title.
Liar.
It's no lie. It was Quotho. He was blood rider to Khal Drogo. Take me to Slaver's Bay. Put a sword in my hand. I'll prove my worth.
I remember I asked Tom to take me to lunch junior year, and he did the same thing. He was just like...
Oh, God.
Now here we go.
Yes. Lancel Lannister.
Brother Lancel. We abandoned our family names. The city has changed since you were here last. We flooded the gutters with wine, smashed the false idols, set the godless on the run.
I'm here on urgent business for the Queen, Mother. Should I send word that I'll be delayed?
Step carefully, Lord Baelish. You'll find there's little tolerance for flesh peddlers in the new King's Landing.
We both peddle fantasies, Brother Lancel. Mine just happened to be entertaining.
Oh, medieval burn.
Medieval burn. Dude, I hate that guy. Look at him.
I hate him.
Resting the heir to Highgarden.
The faith.
The rest of the heir to Highgarden.
Of course. And the Faith were armed on your orders.
The king's orders. Is the king to blame for Sir Loris's perversion?
House Tyrell won't tolerate this insult.
House Tyrell won't tolerate it. I'm the insulted party, Lord Baelish. Sir Loris was promised to me. Instead, he chose the company of boys.
One's choice of companion is a curious thing.
Liza Arryn, for instance. A thoroughly repellent woman.
Repellent.
Forgive me.
Lysa was a good woman, a kind woman.
She was neither of those things. We both know it. Still, I pity her son.
I know how hard it can be to lose both your parents at such a young age.
If war comes to Westeros, will the Knights of the Vale fight for their king?
Young Lord Robin heeds my advice, and I have always counseled loyalty to the throne.
Good.
You once charged me with finding Arya Stark. To my shame, I failed you, but I have found Sansa Stark. Alive and well, and home again, living at Winterfell.
That's not possible.
My sources are well placed.
Roose Bolton is Warden of the North by the grace of my father.
Indeed. His reward for stabbing his own king in the heart. Marrying his son to the last of the Starks gives him more legitimacy in the North than an alliance with a hated southern house.
I will skin him and his bastard like that wretch on their bloody sigil.
I would counsel patience, Your Grace.
Patience! Sansa helped murder my son. Roose Bolton is a traitor.
Stannis Baratheon was also a traitor. Let the enemies of the throne slaughter each other, and when they're done, seize Winterfell from whichever thief survives.
The weather has already begun to turn.
That is why it is critical to strike soon, while the victor still licks his wounds. Surely your Uncle Kevin could muster a force.
My Uncle Kevin has all the courage of a kitchen.
He was the guy who left.
Yeah.
The Knights of the Vale are some of the best fighters in Westeros. Trained to battle in the ice and the snow.
Forgive me, Lord Baelish. You have a reputation as a moneylender and a brothel keeper, not a military man.
What do you have to lose? A brothel keeper? Name me Warden of the North.
I'll speak to the king this evening.
My king, King Tommen.
I'll not rest until the lion flies over Winterfell.
And I'll know you're a man of your word when I see Sansa Stark's head on a spike.
You live to follow people. What a terrible.
Baelish, you.
Well, if you remember, he was trying to get the Boltons and the Knights of the Vale to team up against. You know what I mean? Right. He's playing all the sides here.
Do you want to marry me because our families arranged it, or do you?
No more talk, baby.
We can't. Not yet.
Why not?
You know why not. Someone will see.
He's gonna get stabbed in the back.
I'm going to be your husband.
He's a handsome kid.
He is.
They make a lovely couple. A Lannister and a Martell. They have no idea how dangerous that is. We must protect them.
Yes.
You haven't had to use that axe of yours in a long time. I hope you remember how.
I remember how.
He seems like a.
The Dornishman's blade, it was made of black steel.
They're about to die.
In a voice that was sweet as
All right.
Oh, I thought they were. Okay, never mind.
The song really is all about the ending.
We can wait. There.
I want to hear the song.
I like to improvise.
That explains the golden hand.
I love them as a duo.
They're one of my favorite duos, yeah.
Put Booger in.
Oh, Jesus. They're about to go kill some babies or something.
Well, who does she want to kill, if you remember?
What's her name? Cersei's daughter.
Yep.
How do these women live? Like, they just, go kill a kid?
Well, they're supposed to
be
clandestine about it, right?
It doesn't relieve them of their moral ambiguity.
Well, she's made herself at home.
Marcella?
Uncle Jamie? I don't understand. What are you doing here?
Let's speak in private.
I am Tristan Martel.
Tristan is my intended.
Good to meet you.
We weren't expecting you, Lord Jamie.
Why don't you let them have some time alone, son?
He can tell.
Let's not do something stupid. That was something stupid. But we have to.
Uh-oh.
Oh, these people. No, it's been a bow staff like Oberyn, Donatello. The thing is that you can just grab that thing and just
Get over there.
You could, yeah.
Worked for Indiana Jones.
It's all fun and games. That thing whipped your balls.
Yeah, can you imagine getting bag tagged with that thing?
Like, just...
You're coming with me. I don't want to. I wasn't asking, princess.
I am Obara Sand, daughter of Oberyn Martell. Who do you fight for?
Drop your weapons.
I think I know. That dude's off of...
When you were whole, it would have been a good fight.
That's a nice looking axe.
He, like, instantly knows who he is.
You fight pretty good for a little girl.
Dude, she's so annoying.
She tried something. She failed miserably.
You send your kids, or at least Oberyn's kids. I don't think they're all hers. They're all his bastards. It's just to fight
Sands. They're Sands.
You know.
Oh, you can smell the shit from 5 miles away. Well, why have we stopped? Go on! If they arrested all the pillow biters in King's Landing, there'd be no room left in the dungeons for anyone else.
Everyone knew about him and Renly.
Renly Baratheon shagged half the stable boys in the Seven Kingdoms. Everyone knew. She wants to drag our name through the dirt, put us in our place, and let me deal with Cersei Lannister.
Uh-oh.
Your Grace, I have traveled a long way.
You must be exhausted.
Put the pen down, dear. We both know you're not writing anything.
Ah, yes, the famously tart-tongued Queen of Thorns.
And the famous tart, Queen Cersei. I know you're behind this absurd incarceration of my grandson.
If you apologize for that comment, perhaps...
You'll get your apology. When I get Loras.
I was as shocked as anyone when the Faith arrested Sir Loras. But what can a Queen Mother do?
Has the Crown suddenly stopped needing the troops' gold and wheat my house supplies?
I can assure you, our alliance with House Tyrell remains...
Do you expect the alliance to continue after you've thrown our future into prison?
I didn't imprison anyone.
Cersei...
Your veiled threats.
What veil? I didn't trust your father. I didn't particularly like him, but I respected him. He was no fool.
Mm-hmm.
He understood that sometimes we must work with our rivals rather than destroy them.
Just a small hearing. Loras will be freed. Our happy alliance will continue.
Until Tom just go and just say...
He could, but he just doesn't have the strength. Like, he's wrapped on his mom's finger still.
Because he grew up with his brother being so mean.
Marjorie knows this. That's why Marjorie was trying to get Tommen to get her to go to Tywin's castle.
Witnesses state that you refused to leave his bedside.
He was my friend. He was my king.
He was anointed by the Seven, not Renly.
I was wrong to support Renly's claim, but I was forgiven by Joffrey. I fought for him at the Battle of Blackwater.
Wearing Renly's armor. You never lay with Renly Baratheon.
Never.
I think that's quite enough of that.
Faith calls Queen Marjorie forward.
You call me forward. I am the queen.
You are.
Tommen? They kill her. Leave the channel.
I hate these people, Tom.
In the presence of the gods, do you swear that your brother is innocent of these charges against him?
Yes, I swear it.
That's gonna come back later, so...
Yeah, you know it is.
Oh, no.
We've all been here where we're thinking, oh, crap.
Look at Cersei's...
You god!
She's like... Mm.
How did you come to meet?
How'd you be like this?
I squired for him.
So, you're telling me that we don't know the witnesses?
And what occurred in his chamber?
Engaged in intimate relations.
Liar. He's a liar.
Is there anyone else who can support your claim?
Yes, Queen Marjorie. She walked in on us once, not long ago.
Prove it. Prove it.
Yeah, prove it, literally.
Many is an insult to a great house. Why should the Faith or anyone else take the word of a squire over the heir to Highgarden?
He has a birthmark, Your Grace. Quite high on his thigh.
The Faith is satisfied there is enough evidence to bring a formal trial. for Sir Loras and Queen Marjorie.
What?
Take her.
No. Tommen! Tommen!
Tommen!
I am the queen. Tommen!
What is he doing?
See, she knows what she's doing. See, Cersei is just a fuck.
See, his guards are right.
Doesn't just want to kill like an innocent person in the in the third world, obviously.
You saw his
I'm
guard.
just kidding.
His guards are about to go. You could just kill them all. Tommen.
Lord Ramsay sent me to draw your bath, my lady.
I pick her over. Sad.
Okay, shut up.
Don't let her in there.
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's liable to get poked in the eye.
You're so beautiful.
Something's gonna happen.
But you need to keep him happy.
Something's gonna happen.
Let's see, there was Kira, the blacksmith's daughter. She was tall like
shut
you.
your mouth.
Lovely figure. I grew tired of that. Sweet girls get a bit dull after a while, don't they?
People are so messed
You
up.
let me come with them on that hunt.
Hunt?
Oh, I remember that. Oh no.
Yep.
I just like turn around, 360 slap her.
Why am I talking about such things?
Did you imagine that he would be with you forever? Is that it?
Her voice got way more sure.
Yeah.
I'm Sansa Stark of Winterfell. This is my home, and you can't frighten me.
Are you done with your bath, my lady?
Go, I can finish on my own.
Oh, she just like.
Yeah, bitch.
Be gone!
That was a zinger. Good for her.
I've come to escort you to the Godswood, my lady. Will you take my arm?
No,
Lord Ramsay, he said I'm to take your arm.
I'm not touching you.
What?
I mean, she got her brother killed.
He'll
He got her
punish
brother
me.
killed.
You think I care what he does to you?
Yeah, you did good. Oh God, look at her signal. The X.
She comes to beg the blessings of the gods. Who comes to claim her?
Ramsay of House Bolton. Heir to the Dreadfort and Winterfell. Who gives her?
Eon of House Greyjoy. Who was he? Who was her father's ward?
That's just terrible. You hear the regret in his voice?
Will you take this man?
Yep.
I take this man.
Look at that.
Why would you smile like that? Please.
It must be so cold in there.
I think in the book, there's like a hot spring underneath it, and he keeps it really warm.
Are you pleased, my lady?
Are you pleased, my lady?
He didn't sound like that. Shut up.
you to be happy.
Sounds like a freaking hobbit.
He looks like a
It looks
hobbit.
like Frodo.
He does look like Samwise.
Or Sam, maybe.
Yeah.
Why are you still a virgin?
She's gonna. She's, oh God.
Afraid of dwarves?
Why are you taller
Tyrion
than
was
me?
kind. He never touched me.
You're not lying to me.
No, my lord.
Lying to your husband on his wedding night. That would be a bad way to start a marriage.
See, you can say that so much more nicer.
I know, but that's the thing, is he's always on
We're
the
man
edge.
and wife now. We should be honest with each other.
He's gonna make him watch. That'd be terrible.
Dude, you might be right at this point. Like,
take off your clothes.
Yep. Okay. Well, there you go.
God might be right, Malachi. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh no.
Oh my.
Bro.
You stay here, Reek.
You stay here, Reek.
You watch.
I hate being right. I hate it so much. My mind.
Do I need to ask a second time? I hate asking a second time.
Ah!
Sansa keeps ending up in these strange predicaments.
Yeah, it's...
She's better watch the girl he grew up with. Like a sister.
Yeah.
Now watch her become a woman.
I would, as her, I would say.
She also doesn't want to get killed.
Oh, God.
That's messed up stuff.
I hate that. I told you, like, watching this fucking show, it just
sucks the life out of you.
It stresses me out. Like it, for...
That was our reaction.
Yeah.
That was a pretty intense ending, gentlemen.
Yeah, so, obviously I've seen it. Malcolm, you actually called it. Your ADHD brain like mine, you're just thinking shit up and you shout it out.
And it's right, like 70% of the time on this show.
Oh,
I hate it.
Yeah, that was pretty,
I don't know. I mean, first of all, we know Ramsey's insane.
You said it really good there at the end. He's always kind of teetering right on that edge of, like,
it's
going
like
off the deep end.
It's like he's crazy and then he pretends, then he walks among normal people trying to be normal, trying to have civility, but he barely manages it.
But he's crazy.
Even his dad is kind of like understands this a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
psychotic.
Yep.
Thank God I don't have a daughter.
What I found the most interesting, I think, about that scene, though, was Theon's
The ripping of fine fabric
reaction.
Yeah, because Theon...
Like, he grew up with her, right? Like, he's known her. I mean, Ramsey's right.
Well, Theon just feels great shame being here. He feels great shame even seeing her. So he's Reek, but I think...
And he's not
just
really...
Like, yeah.
I mean, at this point, is he even really playing with a full deck after everything that's
No,
happened
he's
to him?
not. It's just like Vader's... Like, if he goes back to Tatooine, it kind of really messes with his psyche. Tremendously.
Did he ever visit Tatooine after?
Well...
That's what I was going to ask.
So, the answer was no. But now there is a comic book where he goes there to force Jabba to do something. And he also forces Jabba to speak Basic, which is English to them. It's a comic book, but it'd be nice to hear Jabba speak English. You know what I mean? That would have been... And Vader hates the Hutts, because he was Anakin Skywalker was a slave and everything else. So the Emperor kind of sends him there to do that.
Yeah, that has to mess with him. Being there when he was a kid. I mean... That's weird.
I mean, last time he was there was...
after he won the pod race.
No, 21,
Oh, yeah.
22
He
years
came back in episode 2, right?
Yeah,
He
22
killed-
years before the Battle of Yavin, I think. Or 23 years before the Battle of Yavin, because that's the beginning of the
22
Clone Wars.
BBY.
Anyways, this show. That sucked. But I was saying that for Theon to be here, I think I'm sorry. For Reek to be here, I think Theon's starting to come out. So he sees Sansa. Theon is starting to come out.
Ramsey's looking that way, and you're behind him. I just look away.
I know, but he's been so scared shitless into doing Ramsey's bidding that he just feels he has to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like, oh, Master's not looking, so I'm not going to do it. It's like I do what he says no matter what. Because if you remember, he like was rushing into Ramsey's arms like a little child when his sister tried to rescue him.
Right.
So he's broken. Okay. But there's clearly enough of him there to see his sister or someone who is like his sister
Yeah,
just
I think his
get
reaction,
brutalized.
I think his reaction really made that scene what it was.
Yeah, it made it because it was, I don't know. Obviously, we have daughters, so I'm just sitting there like feeling the most violence in my head, while it's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tremendous acting, though.
Yeah, great acting because it felt real.
So I'll kind of start at the top of my notes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been kind of thinking this the last couple episodes. I don't think Clegane is dead. I think that'd be a very unceremonious way.
No, I don't think he is.
For who's becoming one of the main characters to just... I think there's too many loose ends for them to just die in some mountain somewhere.
Okay.
So I don't think he's dead. I know that Arya was talking about that. I don't think he's dead. We find out that Jorah...
Well, also, when they were playing the game, and she was saying, I hated him.
Yeah, and he said, that's not true, you're lying.
Yeah, so... but Arya is lying to herself. Like, she is trying to convince herself that she hates him, but in reality, they started working together. He saved her, she saved him, and I don't think she loves him, but I'm sure it's a very complicated feeling.
There was some trauma bond there, I think.
Yeah, there's some...
Love trauma bonds.
Love them.
Love a good trauma bond.
It's a great thing, yeah.
So, Jorah didn't know his dad was dead. He does now, thanks Tyrion.
Yeah, but
his dad was one thing.
I think after that, I think he gave the news the best way he could. You know what I mean?
His dad was the one that got stabbed right in the back when they went inside the hut.
Yeah, the shitty guy, the old bear, like the big guy with gray beard and stuff like that.
He was.
He gave Jon the sword.
Yeah.
And that was a sword. I remember he said I was going to give it to my son. No, it was my son's because his son was supposed to be the heir. And then Ned Stark was after him to hang him for slaving. Like, you know what I mean? There were people hunting on his land, so he sold him into slavery. And he said he did the sensible thing and he left the sword. So Jorah had the sword, felt disgraced, but he left it behind. And then that sword is now in Jon's hands.
Well, speaking of slavers, Jorah and Tyrion are in a predicament.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like, they probably came on land forward. He's like, water.
Dude, you know when you watch this stuff, like think how many times this happened throughout human history. It's awful.
Well, like think about a period of history that I always think about as interesting is here in North America during like the frontier era. Like you could just be going through the woods, like looking for supplies or whatever, and just stumble across a Native American encampment.
Yeah.
Like you're done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, you're right. So out west, before we started populating that, it was Devil's Playground.
Dude, you go out and you walk in, you just stumble upon one of their camp, like you're done. You're dead.
Bow and arrow. Yeah, most of the time we knew where their territories were, but then, Andrew Jackson had the Trail of Tears, just made them go, which is terrible. But here's the thing. On this continent, before Europeans came here, they were doing terrible things with each other. They were enslaving each other, just like the Europeans were slaving each other, just like Barbary pirates and Muslims enslaved Slavic white men, and just like white men and black men and all kinds of other men bought and traded with the African chattel slave trade. You know what I mean?
Like, so like you said, how many times did it happen? If you're just minding your business, foraging for supplies,
probably 100 times longer than democracy has existed.
And you just stumble across somebody.
I think slavery is
pure dumb luck.
Yeah.
And something terrible happens to you.
Yeah.
And that's the end of your life.
And your children, yeah.
That's it. You're done.
Yeah. So it's awful. Yeah. I think slavery existed before civilization was civilization. And actually, so there's this book. I was listening to a podcast. I was going to buy it. I put it on my Amazon wish list. And it's just about... So we had the Roman Empire, but what was the Roman Empire before it was an empire? It was just a bunch of people and small groups of humans that came together and developed language, and then they developed culture and language and civilization. And just back then, it would be evil to not kill someone when you met them if you didn't know them. It would be looked at as like dishonor. Like you have to kill this person that you don't know. And that was this guy's contention.
Right.
Like everyone who's alive today is spoiled, and of course everyone today, they don't know it.
Well, and I say it all the time. A lot of the things that we complain about, when I say we, I mean us,
you.
First world.
Yeah.
I just call it first world problems, my car won't start. It's too cold.
Which, by the way, funny enough, Jamie Farley, who's on this channel, he's supposed to come tomorrow to film. He sent me a video. His car's not even turning over.
Battery, maybe.
It's funny because he was like, yeah, first world problems, I guess, but I want to film. I said, yeah, I know. But yeah, you said it, first world problems. So most of the time throughout history, we'd be dead at this point because we probably would have died within what's it called? Child mortality was much lower. We would have been dead before we were 5 years old.
God.
So the
cock merchant.
So the big, I don't know that we know what his name is, but the big bald black dude, with the axe that's like the bodyguard.
That axe is beautiful.
Are we talking about Endoran?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm almost positive he's the guy off the movie Doom with The Rock.
I haven't. I saw in theaters once.
You might have seen it with me.
With Jill from Frontier.
Bowersock.
I'm almost positive that's him.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up and see, but I recognize it. And I'm like, he's in Doom. He's like jacked.
Really?
He's just this big jacked black dude.
Do you know a big jacked black dude? Halo season 1.
1 and 2. Vanek,
he's big.
I hope they get renewed for season 3. Sorry, back to Tyrion and the slavers. I thought it was hilarious when he was talking about it being a dwarf's cock, and he's like, think again.
Yeah.
He's always alluded that this thing is like a kickstand. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's just funny because once he said it, like the logic behind their thinking, which is probably why they're slavers, though, is he's just like, well, how are you gonna know if you don't have the dwarf with him?
Yeah.
And they're all just kind of sitting there like, all right, the dwarf lives.
Dwarf lives until we find a cock merchant.
Like
they should have seeded a cock merchant in the show earlier. So later on, like, oh yeah, that one guy from season 2, he was a cock merchant. You know what I mean?
I wonder if there's a market for cock merchants.
There had to be, because there was a merchant.
First, I thought they were literally.
You think it was like a
facetious.
first-time venture? I'm going to go into cock merching. You know what I mean?
Like, I thought they were being facetious at first and just like toying with him before they killed him. And I was like, no, but they might be 20% serious.
I think they were serious when he said he'd not to kill him until they found one.
But why? What's the point of cock?
Because he feels like they would pay a lot more money for a dwarf's cock.
What's the point?
What are they going to do with it, you mean?
I think it's like some...
Like a trinket?
Some medieval form of taxidermy, I guess.
Some fetish.
I guess, some taxidermic dildo. You know what I mean?
Something to put in like a museum of curiosities or something.
Probably, yeah. I know we're jumping all over the place here. When we were in the House of Black and White, when Jack and Hagar was smacking her, because he can perceive a lie like that. Before that scene, when she had a little girl drink the water, that was tough.
Yeah, so
That made me emotional, I think. You know, she was just trying to make her feel better before she died.
And
the father, you know, obviously with her limited medical knowledge, like, this girl she could have a million things wrong with her. She could have cancer and it's just killing her slowly.
Right. That's the thought process I went with to kind of placate my mind instead of it completely bumming me out. I was like, all right, well, I'm sure she probably had some devastating terminal illness.
Yeah, and she was
suffering.
Yeah.
And it would have only gotten worse. Maybe this is, you know, what do they call it? A coup de grace, like a mercy blow.
Yeah.
So that's just how chose to look at it.
It's like what the samurai used to do. And whenever they got defeated in combat, and then they just cut off their head.
Harry Carey.
Yeah. What's that movie when they did
Last Samurai?
It's a good movie. You've seen it?
Don't
talk
about
it. You haven't seen it?
No, he hasn't.
You can that's a reaction.
So the faces thing with him.
Yeah. So
I knew it.
She got to take him back. I mean, he got to take her back there.
Yeah.
And a bunch of faces. So
it's like a library of different faces.
Yeah. So the faceless men do use magic, but there is a methodology to it. It seems like and I can't remember if it ever says it specifically, but I think it can be inferred that they can wear all these faces, but there needs to be a face of a dead person on that wall for someone to magically use it. I don't think they just carry a bunch around with them. All the people that are dying and dead drink the water, and they clean them and they cut their faces off and put them on the wall. Kind of disgusting, but. All right, so we got to see the Sand Snakes, the 3 bastard children of Oberyn. There's Obara, and I can't remember the other ones, but they're just a bundle of joy.
They just
great storytelling.
They annoy you, don't they?
Yeah, they do, Tom. They annoy me quite a bit. Anyways, I don't want to say anything else.
I'm wondering about, now that Bronn and Jaime are captured.
Yeah, what'd you think of that fight?
It was okay.
What'd you think of how Jaime did? What about Bronn?
Bronn did fairly well, I thought. I mean... Okay. Plus, he's fighting. I mean, I don't know what experience he would have fighting that style with like a whip and. I mean, but
there was a sword. There was a sword there too.
There was a sword, and he was fighting multiple. He was fighting 2 of them.
Yeah.
So, and I'm wondering how this whole thing, especially with Myrcella now, is going to potentially affect Baelish's little scheme that he's cooking up.
We'll see. I mean, I think in reality, though, what does that do to the treaty that they have with King's Landing?
Well, that's what I mean. It's Jaime's mission, I'm going to assume, is officially failed. Let's just call it what it is. Let's read the room. It's failed.
Yeah, we'll see. But we'll see what, I mean, like I said, it was a good fight. You just got to watch it closely. Also, the big thing in this episode was Marjorie and Loras guilty, or at least they're both going to be taken and tried in an official capacity.
I think it was like Tommen could have done something because you saw his
the guards
were about to start doing something.
Yeah,
right. If he said the word,
which I mean, I want to be quick to kind of jump on the Tom, you need to grow a pair of balls thing, but what has he known to this point? Listening to his mom, what has he seen? He's seen his brother
not listen to his mom.
Listen to his mom.
Die.
But also be cajoled by other people. There's always been somebody kind of, Tywin was there.
Yeah, so we have the Queen Regent and Queen Marjorie both trying to do the same thing. They're both using Tommen to kind of get rid of the other. Now, it seems a lot more natural for the Queen Marjorie to say, okay, maybe now I am the queen and you are the king and we need to move on with our lives. But obviously Cersei, being the queen regent, she's still trying to just hold on to power that she officially doesn't really have anymore.
That's my whole thing with this is like, is no one like looking around being like, she doesn't technically have any power anymore other than this is her son.
I know, but I mean, people believe she has powers, therefore she has power. Her son.
Fair.
I mean, because she's a queen regent, she still commands, like she still has
She's still a Lannister.
She's still a Lannister. She has a Lannister guard with her at all times.
Yeah.
It's like the president still gets Secret Service protection. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the president still gets intelligence every day as well.
Yeah.
I know, Malachi, you had a particularly good reaction to that part.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Tom was just sitting there like an idiot. And, yeah, I hated it. I hated it for Marjorie. Hated it for...
You hated it because of and in spite of Cersei.
Yeah. I mean...
That little
dumb smirk on her face.
Smirk that she always has, yeah.
That dumb smirk on her face. Okay, I think we talked this episode quite a bit.
The only other thing I have is the Miranda and Sansa bath where she kind of told her off.
Yeah, you don't frighten me. I mean, Miranda, dude, what a dumb bitch.
But you can tell Miranda's a nut.
Of course she's a nut because she is in love with a nut. And they're both nuts. You know what I mean?
They killed the old...
You know what I mean? Like, they're both killing other young people. Dude, I hate them. Like, screw them. They both deserve each other.
Who do you hate worse, them, Cersei, or Walter Frey?
Oh!
Nah, see, Walter Frey, I hate...
I hate him because he's one of my favorite
hate
characters, but when they...
Like, he's such a funny old son of a bitch.
I cannot
I'll
think
make
of...
another.
I can't think of anything besides Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I just can't.
He's so funny.
He is absolutely hilarious. I'll kill ya! So yeah, I feel like I hate Cersei more than, I don't know. I guess because I know it happens in the show, but yeah, right now I'll tell you what, I hate Cersei. For the most part, I hate Cersei most of the time more than almost anything. Besides Joffrey. Joffrey is like the bottom of the list of things I hate the most. But he's dead now, so.
Good.
Anyways, so we'll see the aftermath of that scene in the next episode. And we're also going to have Jorah and Tyrion at the slavers' pits. I'm sorry, the fighter pits.
Fighting pits, yep.
And who's at the fighter pits?
Sign me up for it, baby.
Who's there?
Daenerys.
Yep. All right, guys, if you don't want to wait until next week, check us out on Patreon to see the next 4 episodes now. If not, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.